What is going on, Brandon McLaren's PGR World Champion, coming at you. We're back with some Luffy and Ace action. Just kind of circling back around, having some fun with a kind of super aggressive Straw Hat build with Luffy and Ace here. So the game plan is pretty much just finding your Luffys and then just teeing off on your opponent the best you can. We have just some options of being able to be very, very aggressive. So many other stuff like rest cards or can make your stuff unblockable, because then we can pretty much just building off the idea of this Luffy. But I feel like if you're only depending on this Luffy, it kind of puts you in a kind of a tough spot in certain matches, because if you don't see him, you just lose. So that way we have we got Sanji in here, so we can make all of our Straw Hat stuff unblockable. So if we need that, we still got a couple Brook, so if you need to rest something and then restand. Then we got the promo blocker, who also rests stuff, so that's good as well there. All this stuff is searchable from our Nami search, which I like. And then you have the Mr. 3, so you can make some combo plays with our 6Ks to attack for a bunch as well, which is cool. And then outside of that, I've got the freeze. I know you're strong. I mean, I feel like you could also run Luna. I just like having the counter options, because in some matchups, again, especially the aggro matchups, your opponent might just attack you directly. But this is very, very nice against the aggro matchups as well, so you can freeze a couple characters and kind of go from there. But I just like having the versatility, and it's searchable off in Nami, which I like as well. So all of our like options for stuff, you can find pretty much the main idea behind Nami and the stage as well. And then yeah, I like this Luffy a bunch. So this Luffy actually helps out a great deal against like the 7K leaders, so against like Nami and then even Ace, being able to play him down to build board, but then still having those extra dons, so then you can swing with like 7Ks with our stuff more consistently is very, very good. Same with stage, being able to utilize this and swing for 7Ks. I feel like in any matchup, if you can get into a habit where you can swing for 7Ks consistently, it just puts us in a great spot with being able to just blast away our opponents. Because again, once we get them down to like 1 or 0 life, we have so many options to be able to just finish them off. So I just like everything there. So that's pretty cool. And then yeah, it's pretty much the overall game plan. You're looking for your Nami or your stage kind of turn 1. If you're going first, Sanji is great turn 2. And then obviously going second, you have the options with you got your Luffy, Sanji, or Luffy you can set up. Turn 3, I also like this Luffy a lot, because you can, especially against like the smaller aggro decks, being able to rest one of their characters and then just get rid of it, and then you have an 8K blocker on the board. Just makes it a lot easier to be able to survive the entire game, so you can go wide enough and then just tee off on your opponent and kind of go from there. But yeah, having a lot of fun with the deck right now, just being able to be just blast away, and it's just centered on all the Luffys basically. I have this Ace in here mostly just because for another rush option, but because he has counter, I use it more. I feel like his counter than unless it's like a super emergency. But yeah, we'll jump in some games and see how they go. All right, we got some Luffy action here. They chose to go second. With our hand, I'm gonna keep this because we have Nami at least, and they'll be good to get on the board. Then out of our options here, I kind of want to go Sanji. Then we have a turn 2 play. We can try to potentially match their aggression. If they drop 2 characters here, be not ideal, because the Bond Clay is a problem for us. But in this matchup, where it gets tough is just dealing with so many swings. So that's why I want to go Sanji, so we get some card draw. Without getting at least a little bit of card draw, we can definitely lose this matchup, because they are able to draw like so many cards, and it makes things kind of tough here. But they're setting up Mr. 3. So that's not the worst for us, because yeah, they swing with Mr. 2 here, we can get rid of him. Just go from there. So all right, they're going with the drawing some cards here. So I'm okay with that. Because then yeah, next turn we're just gonna try to build up and go from there. And then yeah, I'll take this 1. Okay, it looks like our plays are gonna be around these Luffys here. So we got that there. We'll hold on to Ace, and then we'll just rip them for some 6s and try to get some stuff out of their hand. All right, and then we'll do this here. Attack them there. This next turn, we could go our Mr. 3 and then another Luffy play here. So we got that. All right, they're taking a lot of hits here. Okay, interesting. So get them there. We'll probably lose, yeah, Sanji here. But we'll see if they do like the buggy and prisoner play maybe. And then go from there. But yeah, our play, we'll go Luffy, Mr. 3. Then we can attack them for a bunch next turn. So we'll be at 7. So we'll be able to, yeah, make this play here. I'll probably lead with a leader just to get some out of their hand. Or see if they block. And then we'll tee off on them there and go from there. Go no. Counter with ace here. I feel like they gotta attack Sanji at some point here. Alright, I'm throwing down a bonk off to get a Mr. 1. But they didn't have the buggy play. Okay. So that works. And then yeah, with this here, I mean all they got is this play. Okay. So they're attacking us. And then they're, alright, looting both of those. Okay. I mean, that works too. Well, I can drop down this. We can, yeah, definitely have to get rid of this guy. I have this here. We'll hold that for those stuff. So, alright, let me attack him. Get rid of this dude. So that works for us there. Then how do I go about this? Because we could go Luffy. They have a bunch of cards in hand, so I'd need to attack this for 8. So I'd like to hold this for a play. So I have to start down another one of these, see what we can find. We get this Luffy. And I get our blocker Luffy. I could go blocker Luffy, rest this. And then we attack that. That could work. And then next turn, make this play. Okay. Do this here. Yeah, rest that down there. I'll put 1 on Nami. And then we'll attack him 3 on 1. They might counter out of this, but we at least get 2 cards out of their hand. And be able to kind of go from there. But this is, again, if they can spam like Lunas and stuff, like every turn, we might be in a... This is where the matchup is like not good, just because all of our characters are within range of all that. So we just have to play around that and go from there. So, all right, we get a couple cards out of their hand. We get 2 2Ks. Okay, so that's good. So we just kind of go from there. Because, again, I would like to make the Mr. 3 in this Luffy play, but we can't really do too much. All right, especially with them being able to do all of that. So, all right, we'll do that there. So, if they have another Luna, well, there's not much we can do. So, we'll have to go. All right, we'll counter that one. So, yeah, all I can do is bop their little stuff here and then kind of go from there. To counter this one as well, so we'll do that. And then them going there. So yeah, things aren't looking the most ideal for us here. Yeah, they have another Luna. So yeah, this is where, yeah, this matchup not ideal. Okay, we can freeze them back, I guess, so that's good. Because I can freeze their Croc and their Luffy. We got that. All right, so we'll hit them with the freeze job back. I'll freeze both of those. So we can do that. And then yeah, I think I'll just put 1 here. I'll attack 3 on 1. So we'll see. It'll be close. And then we'll go from there. All right, so they do that. We attack them here. And then surely they don't have another Luna. We'll attack them there. If they do, then there's nothing we can do. But they only can... We got the 2 life here. We got our Mr. 3 in hand. So we'll see what happens. Unless they have another Rush Luffy, I guess. That would catch us. But we got the battle of the freezing going on. So we'll see what happens, because yeah, that's pretty much the game here. They have another Luna, then we're cooked. Unless I can draw one of our rush characters, I guess. But yeah, we're at least will slow them down so they can't do set up for like too much here. The only other thing I guess would be if they have their restand event, that would get us. They are able to put out like 2 little characters and then restand both of these, so they can swing a bunch here. So a couple different ways we can lose based on their event cards, I guess. So we'll see what they got and go from there. But yeah, this is where again this matchup gets definitely tricky. So then yeah, I guess we'll just see what they do here. So yeah, got them there. They have the Ivankov. We're at the 2. All right, well, I'll take this one. Okay, I was hoping for not that. Hoping for not that there, because they might have another Rush Luffy, I guess, based on them doing this. So I need to counter out of this one. In case they, yeah, had another one of these guys to drop for 5, then restand, attack us there. So there's that. The only other with them playing around that, but again, if they have a third Luna, then we're cooked. So okay, they're going Mr. 3. All right, that's not the worst. Only losing yeah, 1 here is okay. Be able to at least make some moves. And all right, they didn't have it. I guess, I mean, they could have Mr. 3'd this Luffy. They had, or they were, yeah, they couldn't have blocked because we had both. But they would have got 2 more cards, so they got a 2K there, and then 2 and a 1. So they would have that. But I mean, I guess we still had yeah, our attackers here. I could have just ripped them there. Just a bunch of couple not. If they would have froze both, we probably would have been. I probably went 9 with Sanji. See what would have happened, and then kind of play around that. So, but yeah, we'll take it. Again, that's where it gets tricky. Because if they can get Luna, and I mean, if they would have spammed that, yeah, if they can spam Mr. 3 as well, that's their other option of stopping all of our stuff. That makes it not great. But yeah, this is pretty much where the matchup gets a little bit annoying, but came out on the right side of it this time. All right, we got some NL action here. They chose to go first. Have this. We have a turn 2, and I'll hold on to this because if I can find something off in this here, we might be able to then go pretty wide with the board. And then we also have our blocker, so we can rest their stuff. Probably just go with this Luffy then. Okay, we can get him going, and then we'll see what they kind of do and go from there. We can try to do our best to get stuff out of their hand here. And all right, so that works for us there as well. We're loading up with dog. But yeah, I'll drop this, then we can have both of these here. But I might want to go with this so I can get rid of some stuff there. But all right, they do that. We'll just throw down this Luffy then. They're going to attack us for, looks like 8. So might be able to counter out of that. And then kind of go from there. If they put more on, then we'll have to take the hit, which is like okay. So we can mess around with stuff. But keep them kind of low on cards in hand. We'll see if they use anything or not. They can also rest this and attack it. And then also make a play to attack this. So we'll see. I'm not... yeah, I guess I'm not super against taking both of these here to just get some more defense. All right, I think we got to go. I go this Luffy, we rest this, so then I can attack this a couple times. I think that's probably our play here. So I'll drop this down. We'll rest that there. Because then I can go an 8 here. So, alright, let me attack just this anyways. Okay, so they take the hit on that. Alrighty. Then I'll do this. Because they'd have to give us 2 cards if they want to keep up the dog. But then we have our blocker here anyways, so we'd be able to get them next turn, unless they hit a bunch of crazy stuff. Anyways, there. All right, so we still keep them at least decently low in cards. All right, they throw down Enel. That's fine. Because again, they load up with dog here. We can block. There's a. We just gotta keep poking at them and going from there. So. And then, yeah, don't have to worry about this either. So they only can get the draw off in it because their stuff is buffed up. So we're chilling on that. Dropping down Ohm as well. All right. But yeah, we're just going to try to go wide here. And then, yeah, I'll block this here. Do that. And since we're 6K, they're committed to the dog strat. We're kind of chilling. So. And pretty much just filter out a bunch of stuff here, because I could go with this again as well, but I kind of want to just poke at them here and get rid of stuff. We're at 8. I would love to do another blocker and Luffy and do that. So that would be cool. So alright, let me just go attack him 6 on 6 here, because I'll be able to get rid of this as well. Alright, cool, because then, yeah, we can drop another blocker here. I'll rest this guy. Really can't do any stinky power reduction there. This is going to attack here anyway, so I can probably attack with this one then. Alright, cool, and then, yeah, then we can throw down this Luffy. So, got another blocker. We got this guy, and then, yeah, from here on out is just kind of next turn. If we get a turbo him down, we can then potentially set up going for the game. I could also just load up and try to knock this guy out next turn as well. So there's that. Yeah, for them to, they're gonna have to spam this gamma knife here a few times if they want to take us out. So we can play around with our stuff there. I'd assume they'd probably go for this guy. And then load up with Don on NL to attack this one. So we'll see. See what they do and go from there. Alright. Well, we still got them low in cards in hand though. So that's good. Yeah, we can counter with well, wouldn't mind keeping this though. So, alright, we'll just do that. I assume they'd load up here and attack. Or not. Alright, interesting. So, 8 on 6. We'll just block this and then I'll do this here. And we'll go from there. Yeah, we just got to keep blocker. Kind of going for this guy. Oh, okay. Or they go for me. Interesting. That works as well. And we get our event here, so I could freeze this guy then. So we could freeze both of these. And not have to worry about that. And then I can just run them down. So I kind of like that. I don't really care about this stuff here. We'll have double blockers. So that works. So what do I need? So we need 3 for this. I could do this as well for a 5 here. Okay. So yeah, we'll hit them. 6 on 5. See what they do, because we have hand size is manageable, so we have a decent shot, especially if I can find like another one of these. This would be pretty awesome. So all right, they take that one. We'll do this here, and then does it be, well, do I want to just, yeah, let's just launch some 6s at him so we can get this guy set up too, and then just kind of shut him down. Then that'll allow us to super go for it, because I assume they're gonna counter out of this one. If not, that'll be a bit crazy. Okay, then we'll do this here, freeze both of those, and then throw this down. And then we have, ideally, hold on to any of our stuff here. But yeah, now we got the wall set up. The Luffy, the double Luffy wall, froze them there. Yeah, so we should be chilling. They don't have any other like heavy hitters we have to worry about. So they'd have to chain a bunch of events and stuff together. But I think the turning point for us though is just them going all in early for the dog. So that kind of helped us out a bunch there. So yeah, they get another gamma knife, but again, we got the double blockers here, so I should be kind of chilling there. And then especially again, if this Luffy, even if they put a blocker down, if this Luffy's up, we're chilling. And then next turn we can just launch some 7s at him. We've seen a bunch of stuff already, so there's not too much. I guess we'll see, yeah, who they target with gamma knife. So they target this blocker. Okay, so get rid of that, but I feel like it's an okay fair trade. So we got low end cards in hand, so we should be okay here. Yeah, only have that. All right, they have another gamma knife. Okay. It's a little annoying there. All right. But them going down, I guess I'd go, I'll put, yeah, the Don on here. And then either draw another card. There's going full defense here. We'll see what they do. Yeah, with attacking and stuff. But again, we got the block here. It doesn't matter too much. So, alright. We'll go no. I just counter with this then. So yeah, we just counter there. Then 7 on 6. Block that. Alright, so we got a bunch of options for going for the game here. We have Brook, and I have Mr. 3, so I could drop Brook, so we could rip just a bunch of attacks. So I could load up our Don on here, go 8, and then this as well. So let's just do that, I guess. We'll do, yeah, this here, and then I'll drop this guy down here. We'll go 1, 2, 1, 2 there. And then let me go 8 on 5. Then we'll just be able to do a fun little combo for our end game and stuff here. So they give us a bunch of cards there. Cool. Attack them. Yeah, 8 on 5 again. They'd have to give us their like last 2 if they want to counter out of this. All right, they can't. So then we can do this. I'll just restand this guy. Attack him 8 on 5 again. And then, okay, and then we can close it out with our Luffy here. But yeah, a bunch of different things we could have done there, which is cool. And being able to kind of put all of our combos together. Again, the freeze event coming in super clutch. That definitely closed the game out for us, because we could just get rid of, not have to pay attention to this guy is very nice. And then play around with, once we get the blocker set up as well. Again, knowing outside of Enel, most of their attacks are going to be around like the 6k range. So if you get your blockers set up, you can kind of put them in a bit of a trap there, which is cool. But obviously, yeah, you're going to see a bunch of their stuff if we don't see our stuff, because again, our disadvantage is we don't have the insane card draw, because I only got 10 cards here, they have 23. So that's like an insane difference. So it makes just, again, all the top decks right now have an insane card draw. So that's where you're just at a major disadvantage, because you just get so much limited options. But if you get everything put together, though, yeah, we can take out anyone. All right, we got the bad matchup with Nami, so we'll see what we can do and kind of go from there. I'm gonna mulligan, see if I can just find potential like combos and stuff. I do not, so that's unfortunate. But we'll see what happens. Again, it's just gonna depend on how much stuff they can just like chain together. So, all right, gonna have to take this one. Okay, we get this or search Nami, which helps. And then we get Sanji, so I might do that. So the next turn I can go, then maybe get a blocker set up. So, all right, let's put this one on. We'll attack them. 7 on 5. See what they do here, because they'd have to give us 2 cards if they want to counter out of this. So I'm okay with that. All right, they give us a Borsalino. Interesting. And then, yeah, we'll play some defense here. Yeah, they do this. So that's annoying. But it is what it is. Out of our stuff here, I guess I gotta get rid of this. So, all right, that puts me at 5. Probably need to drop the blocker here, and then next turn we can go here and here. So, all right, we'll swing 6 on 5, see what they do. And then I could make a play, and we could swing at this just to get a card from their hand, at least. But if they can spam the Nico Robins the next couple turns, it'd be not ideal. So, all right, they give us that. Okay, so drop this down. I'll rest this here. Let me attack this, see what they got, and go from there. So, all right, they have a 2K Zeus at the top of their life. So drop in Mr. 3. Okay, I mean, that's fine, because I'm not going to attack with this guy anyways. Well, out of our stuff here, I guess we'll grab a Luffy. Alrighty. So I can also just block here as well, because we have this to block, because this only makes it so they can't attack. So it doesn't worry me too much. But I assume that's being their option there. Again, it mostly just depends on if they have the Nico Robins that can spam out here. If we can't find some our freeze events to stop those, it'd be not ideal. But we'll just kind of go from there. Yeah, I can do this and this here. They're just throwing down Kiku. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll see what they do. Okay. Well, they're giving us Sanji still, so that works for me. Stuff here. Alright, we'll just attack him here. And then, I mean, it could go another blocker. Get rid of this. So then we can just play around. I have this guy as well. Then I can go, yeah, this here. So, alright, let me do that. We'll rest this here. Attack him 6 on 6. I'm fine if they, yeah, take this to get a life. Then I'm gonna drop this Luffy down. Then we have 2 blockers here. Okay. I'll throw this down. We got 2 blockers. And then we have this Luffy. And then we also have this Luffy. So, if they play anything big, we stop them from being able to attack and do anything. So that's good. So, block out there. And then, yeah, we block out there. But, yeah, I pretty much just now swing at them. Again, there are 8 here. So they're playing Moria. Okay. So they do that there. All right, let's drop this down. Our stuff here. Let me grab this. I could get rid of this, give them another life, and then they're low on cards here. Let's see, what do they have in here? They don't have any Thriller Bark cards in here. So, yeah, that works. Attack them at 6 on 5. So, alright, they do that. Cool. Put one here. Attack them 7. So, again, yeah, they don't have any Thriller Bark cards in there, so that works for us. Yeah, let me drop this Luffy down. And then, so they have Zeus. I could play, if I attack him there, I think I'll just attack here. Get rid of this, give him a life, and then I'll knock him down. And go from there. So, alright, that's fine. Do this here. We got them low on cards in hand. I can make it, again, we can just block leader. So they can't get their ability and stuff here. The next turn, yeah, mostly need to play around this here. So I'm trying not to lose too much there. Yeah, let's block that. All right, and then yeah, block this here. Get some room on the board. All right, so this is at what, 10? They have this. I have this Luffy, so I can rest this guy, and then we have our blockers there. So all right, let me just swing here. Same kind of deal. And then we'll just play around all their stuff there. All right, so I'll drop this guy. We'll do this here. I'll put one on him. Attack him there. We can rest this. Yeah, they have Zeus, so they could blow up our Luffy here, I guess. So they've got that going. But I'll just keep poking away at them here. Again, they want to use leader. They got to give us 2 cards here. So that works. And then attack him again here. They're pretty much set up. Potentially just going for the game. So, alright, they do that. Because I'll put these 3 on here. Alright, we can do that. Knock him down again. Okay. So then we'll hit him here. Then now we're just playing around some life triggers and stuff like that. So, I mean, they get Moria. Bring back Kiku. It's a little annoying, but it is what it is. I mean, I could go Zeus to get rid of Luffy here. But then it would be obviously them targeting there. I have enough 2Ks in hand to keep our Luffy up and everything anyways. So it doesn't matter too much. So alright, they do that. I'll counter this one. So I'm trying to get them to take a life. Because it'd be pretty cool. And then, well, yeah, let me just block that then. We can mess around with stuff there. Alright, we'll grab that. And then, alright, they play the Stinky Nico Robin. Okay. Well, I mean, they didn't attack. So that's good. Me getting both of these, not as good. So, alright, yeah, I guess we'll go attack here. Rest that. Then go from there. Then they still have Zeus, so they can get rid of this. They'd have to give us 2 cards at some point. So, okay, they give us the Zeus there. All right, interesting. Well, let me go. Yeah, 7 here then. See what they do. So, all right, they take that one. Okay. We'll go 7 again here. Okay, let's throw down a Kiku. Because I could go. They give us that. We have these 3. If I go 9, that'd be 2, and then I can go that there. So I guess that's probably our play. I'll put these 2 on. We go 9 and 7. And then we can go 10. If, yeah, this hits here, and then I just hope they're bricked in hand, I guess. go from there. And all right, cool, they are. So that works out for us. Again, just being annoying and swinging a bunch of 7s. Obviously, they should have could have swung with this guy last turn because we had this Luffy. But yeah, there we go, able to take one there. All right, here's another one of the not ideal matchups with Blackbeard, but if you win the die roll, take second from him. So we can mess around with stuff there. I'm going to... I think I'll keep this because we have the stage. I got a turn 2 Luffy play if like super needed. Ideally, I'd like to play somebody else, but we'll see what we find off in our stage search. And all right, we get this Luffy, so I can play this Luffy instead next turn, and then we can kind of play around holding on to this guy for later. But this matchup only gets like really stinky if they can just like super stall us out and things like that. So they are able to do that. There's not like a whole lot we can do. And then, yeah, we'll attack him here. But we don't have to worry about this guy too much for, yeah, his abilities and stuff. So that's cool. And then, yeah, let me just throw this Luffy down. And then next turn, should be able to get him down at 1. Maybe 2, because I'm probably going to play this guy and just be aggressive. And then the turn after, we can play Blocker Luffy and then also this Luffy. So we can kind of play around with our stuff there. And that next turn, we can just be able to fly at them with... I guess we'll see what they do. Because I am with stage setup, we could go aggressive as well. So that could be cool. At least right now, don't need ace, so we can do that. And then they throw down this guy. Okay. So they get the 7. But all right, then let me attack him there. We'll see if they attack this guy right now. And then, yeah, we can drop this down and then attack him for some 7s. Yeah, I can hold on to our event in this matchup for our stuff there. But, okay. Well, then we can do a 7. Because now if they use this, they still have to give us a card back. So they are doing that, buff themselves up to, yeah, 7 there. Okay, and then, yeah, then we can swing here and then get the card back from them. And all right, fine with that. So see if they decide to heal here or not. If they do decide to heal, obviously they can't swing, so that protects our board as well. So I'll be okay with that. And then, yeah, next turn we just wall up a little bit so we can, yeah, not have to worry about too much stuff. And then, yeah, this is the only guy that'll be somewhat stinky, but we know this is in their hand. They only have 3 cards left, so they're probably gonna sack this next turn for sure. They're getting rid of Borsalino. All right, so I'll put some there, grabbing this. So I should be able to knock them down a bunch here. Okay, I might audible and not do this. We might just go, yeah, we might just rush at him. So attack him here. Do we know they have the 10 drop? So they have that. They decide, okay, they decide to use ability here. Okay, interesting. Well, then let me just drop this now then. And then we'll go 7 on 5. Because I'm fine if they rest this. Because we can't swing with them this turn anyways. But I just want to go wide with the board. So then, again, we still have a couple turns. So we can just fly at them. These will be buffed up, so I don't really need to concern myself too much. And then, yeah, we can just take this opportunity to do some 7s now. So... But all right, well they get the bailout life trigger, so a little annoying. But then they go for this guy. So okay, well they do that, which is fine. They're gonna hit him for 7 again. Do what they do, and then I'm gonna drop this ace, use stage, and then rip him for 7 again here. Okay, so they do that. Actually, I might be able to just do this. I might be able to save it. So attack him again here. Okay, cool. All right. Well, they slowed us down a little bit with the bailout life trigger. Next turn, they have this guy. So they'll kind of get the double of rest there, but then we have our swings here. We have Brook, so we can hold on to Brook as well for the 10 drop. So if that's coming, we can do that. Yeah, let me counter this one here. Again, we know they have the 10 drop in hand. So yeah, I'm okay with taking this one. Alright, we Kobe. So that's good. And then alright, they're doing the heal. Okay. So probably throw Nami down, see what we can find, and then go from there. So yeah, we have Brook. Again, they have the 10 drop in hand. If they want to use leader ability, they have to get rid of another card. So there's that. And then, alright, or we get this Luffy. I have this guy, so I could just drop him. Alright, let's just do that. We'll go 7 on 5. I assume they'll do this. They'll probably rest this guy. But same deal. I'm just going to attack them for some 7s. And then we also have, Brook, if needed, for next turn. Be able to go for something there. Then if I want to, I guess we could leave one up for counter, because it'd only be tricky. Well, if they're holding on to their event that deletes our life, to do, both of those there, maybe. That'd be the only other thing. Okay. Well, I don't know why they rested that Luffy, because we can just do this. Attack him another, 7 there. Alright. So, well, they got lucky with that, I guess. Okay. Well, with all my stuff here, then, could just load up here. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter at this stage, because I can protect everything. They have that. Yeah, I'll just do this then. Go 10 on 5. Get them down to 0. We'll leave 1 up just in case. Because now if they play the blocker beard, we're chilling. So again, we have Brook as well. Gonna rest something. I use Brook's ability, and then we can restand our Luffy and our other Luffys. So everyone should be somewhat chilling. So I'm gonna need to make a play, because again, they're able to if they do the blocker beard, they can nullify our leader ability, so everybody drops down. So one will be frozen, and then I'm gonna need to make a play, get the counter out of this one, because we'll lose one here as well. But outside of that, though, I mean, we should be all right. So all right, they are doing the event. They give us we get a Sanji, so that works too. So that's cool. I assume they'll freeze one of these Luffys. That leaves them at 2. So mostly just gotta rest this guy. They can block one there, but being able to swing. Okay, I don't know why they're going for Ace. Not the Luffys that can attack for more, but it is what it is. But yeah, we got the counter in hand. If super needed here, like if we decided to go for the game, I guess. We'll do that. And then at 10 on 6. Okay, we give them that one, and then I can counter here. No, we'll do this and this. So, alrighty, we have that there. Throw this down. Rest this guy. We'll swing 7 on 5. They'd have to give us 2 cards. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what they expected. They didn't go for our strong Luffys, and also all of we had our searches and everything as well to look for our other stuff, and we also just showed them Sanji. So nothing they could do there because they were bricked in hand. So we'll take it. Also, though, if they were bricked in hand like that, they should win for the game last turn.